The numbers are out, the data is in. If you want to know everything that's going on in the Central Maine real estate market, stick around. We've got your August market update here today. We're going to break it all down for you. Hello Central Maine, it is your realtor, Nick Isgro with eXp Realty. And like I said, we are gonna break down all of the numbers for you today. We've got your August market update looking at what's happened over the last month. We're gonna look at sales data, inventories, pricing, and try to break it all down for you so that whether you're a buyer or a seller in the real estate market today, here in Central Maine, you're gonna know what's going on. Now, before I jump into that, I do want to welcome you here to the channel. If you've never been here before, we cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, but particularly in the Central Maine market. If that's of interest to you or adds value to your process in the buying or selling of homes, or if you just like real estate, do me a favor. Go ahead, hit the like button, hit subscribe, knock that little alarm bell. You'll be notified every time I put out new content. Now, I want to jump right in with new listings. This is an interesting number that came up this month. Not really what I expected, but as we get into the summer months, not totally unexpected either. New listings coming out of the month of July into the month of August, 244 new listings. Now, as you can see, that's actually a dip from last month. We had 272 new listings, and it's a dip from a year ago. I always like to look at that trend too. A year ago, same month, we had 279 new listings during the month of July here in Central Maine. What that means, it's really hard to tell at this point. It is still reflective of the numbers we saw in May, around the same number of new listings then, when actually the market was even hotter than it is right now. But overall, a little dip in the new listings coming onto the market. Well, we've been talking about increasing inventory overall and how that's been good news for buyers. Well, let's take a look and see how we're going to get there, or if we even get to that increase of inventory as we closed out the month of July and now we're headed into the August market. Headed over to sold listings right now. Take a look at this, 167 sold listings, almost the exact same amount that we sold last month, just a couple of more. So sales continue to actually trend sideways as we go into this market. The previous 2 months, we only had 162. So this number is maintaining steady. So even though that there was a dip in the amount of new listings that came on the market, our sales are really just going sideways now 3 months in a row. There's one more major number that's going to affect the overall active homes that are on the market, and that's pending listings. Let's see what's going on there. 116 contracts, or 116 pending listings during the month. We have not seen this few contracts during the month since the February market, which was around 100, a little over 100 in January, February. This shows a significant drop off in the amount of activity that's going on, where buyers are actually putting contracts on the homes that are on the market. So if we take into account the fact that we've had more new listings coming on, yes, it was a dip this month from the prior month, but overall more from the tightest months that we've seen. And we take into account that sales are going sideways. We're not increasing the amount of sales. And we can project that we're going to actually see a decrease in sales in the coming month because the contracts have actually taken a big steep drop off. What's happening with the overall inventory on the market? Check this out. Total active listings on the market here in Central Maine. 363 active listings. This is huge, guys. We have not seen active listings, this kind of inventory here in Kennebec County since, well, if you look at the graph, it's been over 12 months, because a year ago this time, it was 299 active listings. We've not broken this barrier in a long time. So for the first time in over a rolling 12-month period, 320 plus active listings on the market. Well, what does that mean? What it means is that if you're a buyer and you've been sitting on the sidelines and you've been thinking, gee, I just can't get into the market. Every time I go to look at a house, it's not there, or I'm not really seeing the kinds of homes that I want to see on the market. Well, now's a great time to get out there and look at it. And actually, anecdotally, and I hate to say anecdotally, but it is just my experience, and I always want to give you that, bring that to you guys, because I think it is firsthand knowledge of what's going on in the market. Anecdotally speaking, I personally am seeing way more buyer activity. My phone continues to ring off the hook with buyers coming into the market, wanting to look at homes. And that's not really been the case over the last year. The last 12 months I've been working primarily with sellers, primarily with people looking to sell their homes, still working with them too. There's still plenty of people coming to market, as you can see. I mean, every month we're consistently putting over 200 new homes on the market. But what's interesting is now buyers are coming back and we can see why. Lots more choices, higher inventory means a more competitive marketplace that's going to be good for pricing. Not really there yet on average, we'll get into that, but overall, I think this is going to be a good thing for buyers who are coming into the market and realizing that they now finally have a little bit more choice in the inventory and maybe are going to find that home that they've been looking for and hoping for. Now, just to piggyback off that, I want to look at months of supply. Now, remember, months of supply would be if we were to take every home that we have currently active on the market and sell every single one of them with bringing 0 new listings to market. How long would it take us to sell that? Now, in the last year, we have not seen more than a month of inventory. If you remember, actually last month, we had just shy of 1 month of inventory, about 0.8 months of inventory. That was a big jump from the month before where we had just less than half a month of inventory. Take a look at these numbers now. 1.28 months of supply on the market. Again, this is great news for the market. I think this is particularly great news for buyers because again, it's been over a year since we've had more than 1 month of inventory. Now, I do want to curtail some of the expectations here. And this is probably good news for you sellers too. A balanced market, and I say this all the time, a balanced market where you kind of have an equilibrium between buyers and sellers is about 6 months of supply on the market. We're just cracking 1 month of supply here. So supply is still very limited, and as we'll get into in a minute, it is still moving fairly fast, although there are more homes sitting longer on the market. But overall, still not a lot of homes on the market, still an inventory shortage when you look at the supply versus demand. But what's nice is as the demand has gone down a little bit from people getting frustrated, some of it's been higher interest rates, some of it's just frustration with the process over the last year, it's loosening up a little bit, and this just shows that there's more opportunities for buyers to hit the nail on the head right now in the market. So to put all of this in perspective, we're gonna look at average days on market, and then we're gonna look at the sale to list price ratio, just to give you both buyers and sellers an idea of what this means as far as how fast homes are on average moving. And I always like to stress the average part because if your home is not in the average price range, if it's not in that average category, it might not fit right into one of these. And that's why particularly with all of this stuff, you want to work with your realtor to dig into your market specifics because it's going to depend on your exact home, your neighborhood, your town, your price range, all of that. But on average, let's see what's going on. First, I'm gonna bring up days on market. Average days on market, just over 14 days. Now, this isn't a huge difference from last month, but last month was 13 and a half days. So I have about a half day expectation of greater market time. I know that seems like such a small window of hope, but it does show that on average, things are going to be sitting for a little bit longer on the market. And that means that also that there are some homes, if this is the average number, that sat a lot longer than that on the market. And of course, there's some that are still only sitting for a couple of days. That's still going on, but we're seeing homes a little bit longer in the market. Now let's see what's going on with pricing because that's directly linked to a lot of this. Pricing, sale to list price ratio. So that's again, if you had a house for $100,000, and it sold for $100,000, you'd be at 100% sale to list price ratio. Let's see what's going on right now. 103.8% of the list price. So as you can see, we're down from last month. So it looks like more sellers are definitely negotiating with buyers, and buyers are being a little more hesitant to put all of that additional money on top of the list price. But if you have a really great home that's in that right niche market, you're still gonna get more than you're asking for because there's still an opportunity to get multiple offer scenarios on homes in the market. Again, I can't stress, this is different for every niche market. I could get into every town, every price range, and that's important. And I do that with my clients, but just looking at the average number, so more negotiating, not quite so much over the asking price on these, and a little bit longer market times. A lot of talk about averages here. Let's just wrap this up with a neat little bow and bring it in for a landing with the average pricing in the market. All right, so the average sale price, so that's the average that homes are selling for here in the Central Maine market. 1 year ago, $278,000. This year, current time, $322,000. So we see the appreciation has happened. The market has continued to go up. Average sale prices are higher, but that is where the mark is going to be. Let's take a look at the median sale price. Median sale price a year ago, $239,000. Median sale price this year during the same time frame, $299,000. So just another confirmation that there has been appreciation in the market. We are expecting that to slow down as we move forward. We've just done a lot of videos on that recently. Pricing is still strong in the market, and it's definitely stronger than it was a year ago this time. And I would imagine a year from now, it's going to be even a little bit stronger. Well, that's it. That's all I have for you today, guys. That really is the market summary. Not huge changes going on, although there is a huge change in the inventory, and there is a huge change in opportunity. And that opportunity is for buyers to get into the market. Not so much negotiating on the price, although there is some of that going on, but really more just trying to find that home that you've been looking for and having a little bit more time to make that decision. And I think that's a great thing for all parties that are involved. Now, if you're in the market right now, if you are buying a home, if you're selling a home, what are your thoughts? Drop a comment below. Would love to hear from you there. If you are thinking about getting in the market, if you're thinking about selling your home, you're thinking about buying a home, and you want to dig into these a little bit more and start niching down into your specific market of what you might be looking for or where and how you might be selling, go ahead, please reach out to me. My information is always in a link in the post of this video, so you should have access to all of my contact information. Feel free to call, write, text, whatever is the most convenient for you, and I promise I will get back to you very, very soon upon receiving your message. As always, guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and until the next one, I'll see you next time.